What's up, carnivores? Zach here with American Smoke, and tonight is Monday night steak night over here at the river, and we're doing a little taste test on some of this Bear and Burton's the W Sauce. This stuff is supposedly legit on steak. I've had some of it put on a couple different things, and the flavor is like up. You know what I'm saying? And so we're gonna try it on these awesome looking bone-in New York strip steaks that we've got out here tonight. We're gonna see what sort of flavor we can get onto these steaks real quick. We're not gonna do a long marinade, but we are gonna do what I call the pokey technique. They make things to do this. They look funny. I don't have one, but it's got little barbs and you just cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. What I'm gonna be doing is we're just gonna be putting a little bit of this on here like so. Then all you really need is 2 forks. If you don't have one of the little pokey things, whatever those are called, y'all let me know in the comment section down below if you know what that's called. And just sort of take your fork, smear it out. And this is sort of like replacing some of the marinade process. I did do like a 6-hour salt brine on these, and so they have had salt sitting on them ever since I got home from work. So now we're out here doing a fast marinade, getting some of this W sauce into the meat. From there, straight onto the fire. So all you got to do is just get your holes in there every 1/4 inch or so. And you can do a whole steak, one side of the steak, in about 20-30 seconds like this. It's not necessarily eating up a lot of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this onto these steaks here, and then once I get them on the grill, I'll probably put another coat. Y'all let me know what that thing's called that I'm supposed to get. I need to get one. Let me poke all the holes real quick. But this is a great method for getting flavor into a steak. And you know, the Worcestershire sauce or the W sauce, whatever you want to call it, they named this the W sauce to eliminate that problem. It's got some things in it naturally that provide meat tenderization. So if you want to do like a marinade and leave that on there for a while, it's going to tenderize your steak as well. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of black pepper on these steaks. Y'all watch my channel enough, y'all know I'm a fan of black pepper. So my steaks, it don't matter what sort of seasoning I put on them, they're always going to get a little extra of the black pepper. Some of that pepper. Some of that pepper. The grill's good and hot. We're going to go ahead, get these onto the grill. Let's go right there. Give it a good press. The one good thing about a strip is that it's just one big piece of meat for the most part. Most of the muscles that make up this cut have a similar consistency, a similar texture, and they all cook at similar rates, as opposed to like a ribeye where you've got that spinalis on the outside that you really don't want to overcook, but it is on the outside, and typically it's tougher not to get that a little more done as compared to like some of the tougher muscles that's on the inside of a ribeye that's a little bit more resistant to heat. And so that's the great thing about one of these strips, is that it's just easier to cook, easier to get an even doneness. And these being bone-in strips, which you don't see as much, they're just going to hold flavor and moisture just a little bit better, in my opinion. So we're just going to sit and let these cook for a little bit. I'm not going to do any specific method with these steaks. This is more of just the cooking a steak method, where periodically I'm going to flip these, and once I get the texture that I want on the outside, or the crust, I'll be moving them over here onto the cooler side and cooking them until they get to the temp that I want. And so we're going to just sit here and hang out for about another minute, and then we'll flip these over. Okay, so they've been going about 1.5 minutes, and we're starting to get just a little bit of the fat rendering out. You're going to start to see these little flames kick up, and that's how you know that the fat's starting to heat up, because it's starting to liquefy. And that's going to be a whole lot more of that here real soon. As these steaks heat up, especially with the nice amount of marbling that these types of steaks have in them, you're going to have a lot of fat dripping out, and that's where the 2-zone method of cooking comes in handy for thick steaks, because if you keep them over the fire the whole time, you're constantly battling that flame. And when you're cooking on one of these PKs, it's not really adjustable as far as your height from the heat source. It's just a little bit different. And so 2-zone cooking, if you've got the space for it, it's the way to go. So we ended up going about 2 minutes. One thing that you're going to notice when you're cooking a steak using a wet marinade as opposed to like dry rubs, like say you just did salt, pepper, garlic, is you're going to notice that you get this whiter color more than like a dark crust. It's a sort of a trade-off that you get when you're cooking with these marinades. They've got a lot of water in them, and so as opposed to like using an olive oil, which is going to fry a little bit on the outside and kind of cause that Maillard reaction a little bit quicker, you're going to get more of this tan effect. They do come packed with flavor, but you get a little bit of a trade-off as far as the crust on your steak. So that's the reason we're not flipping as often, because I'm really wanting that heat to get in there, cook out some of the water, leave the residual seasoning from the marinade on the steak, and rock and roll, baby. We're about to start getting some fat rendering out, start to see more flames licking up out of these coals. Y'all might notice I don't have a whole lot of coals. It was the very bottom of my charcoal bag, and I just decided to roll with it, because that's how grilling works. Sometimes you just got to use what you got, and if you know what you're doing, you're going to have a good product anyway, right? Let me know if you know all about making it happen no matter what. We're going to make these steaks happen. Y'all hang around. Okay, so it's time for that second flip on this side. We're going to see more color. See how that works. Dry it out a little bit. You get more color. You get more of that fat dripping. You get more flames licking up. And don't worry if you flip your steak over and you see a little bit of dry, burnt look type stuff. This is going to loosen back up, soften back up, and moisten back up as the fat continues to render out of the steak. And it's going to really create a nice texture and a nice flavor on the outside of your steak. Let's go ahead and flip it over. Look at that beautiful color on those steaks. It's really coming along. So now we're at the stage where we're going to put just a little bit extra of that W sauce on here. And we're going to let that cook on a little bit. Gonna let that cook on. Like I said, we didn't marinate for long, and so this is gonna kind of help compensate for that lack of marination time by giving it another hit. So we poked it in there, we got the flavor deep into the meat, we cooked some of it off, and so we're gonna hit it again. We're gonna move this over to the cool side now. We're gonna get a probe in it, see what it looks like. Let's see how things are looking now that we've been cooking. Internal on this one about 114, 113, so we're getting there. 114, 113 on that one. So both of those are looking great. We're going to close this grill up, let those slow roll for a minute, and then we're going to come in, flip them, marinate the other side, get it up to temp, pull them. So we'll be back here in just a minute. I'm going to open up these vents or we ain't going to cook nothing. almost forgot. All right, so let some of that cook on there. Cook on, cook in, however you want to say it. Man, that looks so stinking good. I don't know about y'all, but I love the way that a steak looks. Got that char on it. It's a thing of beauty, thing of beauty. Get a little bit more of the W sauce on this side. In case y'all are wondering, I'm using about $5 worth of W sauce on these daggum steaks. This stuff ain't cheap. All right, spread that around a little bit. Just a little bit of that W love. Close this grill up, let that cook on for just another minute. We're gonna check our temp, pull it, let it rest. Okay, so that should just about have it. Take a look at our finished product. Let's check our temps. Yeah, right there, 130. And then here, nail on the head, baby, 130. So that should be right where we want it. Let the 10-minute rest begin. There we go. Just gonna set these over here, close up the grill, and we're gonna be cutting these up here in just a minute. Chew, 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 chew. Let's go ahead. Let's get this bad boy going. This is gonna be so daggone good. This is gonna be so daggone good. Look at it. Y'all look at it. Oh, man, I love steak so much. I love steak so daggone much. It's just terrible how much I love some steak. Is it really terrible? No, I don't think it's really terrible. But man, is it just awesome sauce. Awesome sauce, man. Oh, look at this, just squishiness. Look at it, just squishy squish. Squishy squish. So pumped up about this bite right here, y'all. Thanks for coming along for this Bear and Burtons, the W Sauce taste testaroo here. Like I said, I've tried it on different things, but I've never used it as the primary seasoning for a steak. That right there looks ready. Oh. Yep. That's good. That's so good. If you're looking for a great marinade, change up your steak game a little bit, try something new, get you some of that Bear and Burton's W sauce. This stuff is fantastic. It makes cooking a steak a really good steak very easy. This is on the lineup now. Definitely on my steak lineup, on my steak radar. Guys, if you have any questions about this cook, let me know. Thanks for watching. Come over to American Smoked Carnivores on Facebook. I'm in there pretty much every single day, like 20 times. Come chat with me sometime, ask questions, whatever you need. Thanks for watching, smoke on, and I'll see y'all in the next video.